He is no longer an A-plus scorer and an A-plus defender.
He doesn't have a big clutch gene. The complete and utter disappearance of LeBron James.
You could get back on the court and make up to millions upon millions of fans who watched you wet the bed in the fourth quarter. That's what you need to be doing.
LeBron James has played over 2 decades of superstar-level basketball, is the NBA's all-time leading scorer, and nearly on every statistical list that you could think of. But something else you can add to LeBron's list of accomplishments is one of the most hated players of all time. Why? Why is arguably the greatest player ever also one of the most disliked? I'm Jerry, and this is a Clutch original on why LeBron James is one of the most hated players in the NBA ever. Since getting drafted in 2003, LeBron not only had the highest expectations to meet, but also the most haters to prove wrong. And he's done it all. But let's take an unbiased look on why LeBron James receives hate. Michael Jordan. Now, how does one retired player lead to the hate of another? When MJ officially ended his NBA career in 2003, ironically right before LeBron James entered the league, and he was seen as the undisputed GOAT. A perfect 6-0 finals record. And if you bring up titles, MVPs, finals MVPs, and defensive player of the year, Jordan has more of those than LeBron. Why does this matter though? Because indicating there might be a new greatest player of all time marks the end of the old and in with the new. Yes, many fans see LeBron James as a threat to Michael Jordan's greatness, which leads to not only just hate, but entire statistical breakdowns of why, especially since Michael Jordan is better. But it's not just the GOAT debate that led to LeBron James having haters. LeBron's rise to stardom in Cleveland, the chosen one to NBA MVP, had everyone on his side. Until July 8th, 2010. Not only was this one of the biggest decisions in NBA history, there was tons of criticism for how he conducted this major free agency move. James's decision to leave the franchise that drafted him to join other stars to win titles was seen as the easy way out, and was seen that the decision was handled really poorly, turning his free agency decision into a 75-minute show that became a full-on production. This also goes back to changing the NBA as we knew it, before the era of player empowerment, where free agency became almost more hype than the regular season. What did players really do? They stayed with the organization that drafted them, won titles, or got traded. That was the norm. Organizations made the moves. And this goes back to the GOAT debate hate. After Michael Jordan, players that have been considered in this discussion in general stayed on one team for their entire career. Think Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and others. Players will always be compared to the person that did it first. And before y'all say anything, yes, Shaq's signing to the Los Angeles Lakers in 1996 was a huge deal. But has he been in the discussion for greatest NBA player of all time? But there's a different part of basketball altogether that frustrated fans about LeBron: media coverage. Playing through the social media age made LeBron the most talked about athlete, whether his team was good or bad. But there's a reason for that. Because James is the most followed NBA player on Instagram by 100 million. Over 159 million followers compared to Steph Curry, who's in second place with 58 million. The NBA is a business. Publicize your most popular athletes. But he's been hated for other reasons on the court too. Flopping? Yeah, but that's just one of them. It was how he won games and titles. Many consider the Eastern Conference weak when James won his first 3 chips. Then when he went to the Western Conference in 2018, he won the 2020 title with the Lakers, but many have called it the Mickey Mouse ring because the entire 2020 postseason was played at the Walt Disney Resort. Oh, and plus LeBron gets flack for having a 4-6 NBA Finals record despite having 8 straight appearances. But each new year with LeBron James in the NBA brings about new hate. Over the last few years, it's been about nepotism. Just ask Bronny. LeBron's first son became the 55th pick of the 2024 NBA draft, and he just so happened to also be represented by none other than LeBron's good friend Rich Paul. Oh, and Bronny did receive a fully guaranteed 4-year, $7.9 million contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. This questioning the entire process of player development, as LeBron has gone through his multi-decade NBA career. Hate has fluctuated depending on where he stepped on the court. But let's take another example, Kobe Bryant. When he was playing in LA, there was plenty of people that hated him. Then after he retired and since his passing, that's changed a little bit. We could see something similar for LeBron. He'll receive all the hate up until he retires. Then when he actually does step away from the game, appreciation for LeBron James might reach an all-time high. People don't hate the good players. They only usually hate the great ones. What do you think of LeBron James?